fantastic, if you're like us, snowy day today. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you please type the number 1 in the questions box so I know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Rick, how bad are you guys getting slammed in Jersey? Afternoon, Robert. Gillies, good to see you. 12 inches today, or 12 inches still going, okay? Yeah, it looks like we're about 6 at this point and still going. Afternoon, Kevin. Still a good morning, right? Robert, you guys getting snow there in the Chicago area? It's crazy weather. Yesterday they said we were going to see a couple of inches. It's going to taper off on the shore, and then they came back and said, "Yeah, we lied. You're getting hammered." I mean, New York City, who never shuts their schools down unless they have to, has already shut them down for today and tomorrow. They shut them down yesterday for today, and they've already shut it down for tomorrow. So, actually, they may have gone to remote now, but today I think it was closed. Arlington, Texas, 47 degrees and sunny. Well, 47 sounds much better than whatever we're dealing with outside. I think we're about 33 or 34 right now. The good thing is our snow is so light, you can push it away with a broom right now. But as we start getting a little bit more into the afternoon, it's going to continue to rise, which it's going to wetten up, they said. So we'll see. Okay, so snow is gone. Got it, Robert. Dry snow. Yeah, Jim, exactly. Yeah, it's powdery. It's very powdery. It's funny, my wife went to let the dogs out in the backyard this morning. The big one, the little one won't go out in the snow. In the back, it's too deep for him. And she couldn't open the back door up because of the way the wind had drifted, and it drifted up against our sliding door. And I had to kind of jiggle it a little bit to open it, but it was fun. It was fun. All right, remember, as we go through here this morning, everything we do is for educational purposes only. There is no advice and or recommendation meant. If we talk about a candidate, I am under the assumption that it is a practice trade, a non-funded trade. You ain't got real dinero in it. Whatever words you want to use as we go through and analyze them, and that's the way we will look at them. So with that, yeah, if you guys made some money in the markets today, let me know. I want to hear about it. Let me see. Yeah, Kelly said, in Montreal, the snow is here to stay. I bet. Jim said, how are my trades going today? Fantastic. Excellent. Good. Tom said, made $200 on the NQ earlier in a put option on an overnight right now, which is going against me at the moment. I made $750 on PDX Friday, but should have made $1,500. Isn't that horrible? Brender's up 340 on the Qs. That is fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. Good job. Good deal. Wonderful. All right. So we've got patterns in a flash coming up as a bonus that Tony does. And I need to tell you a little bit about what Tony is doing now. He's taken his patterns in a flash. And for those of you that are in his training right now, you've got a great opportunity because he normally does one hour training a month as a bonus for his students. He's now kicking that up to 2 times a month. So 2 1-hour live sessions. And he's also doing something of the week. Every week, he's putting a video up inside of his members area with a brand new pattern that he's talking about. So I'm excited for what he's doing there. He's talking about wanting to promote it again a little bit. And I will tell you this, I would suggest if you have an interest in what he's doing, taking advantage of it, because more than on patterns in a flash with all the new stuff that he's adding into it. So just a little hint for you there. But those of you that are locked in, stay locked in. Trading You coming up on the 4th and the 10th of February, both 8 to 9. Inner Circle coming up on the 18th. Monster Market Movers on the 25th. Mastermind Group each and every Tuesday. We're not letting no stinking weather stop us. And then free online workshops. Got Power Hour, of course. Key to be free. The next one is the 17th of February. I was in one of our meetings today, our marketing meeting, and I was told that Brandon's got some more trainings coming on the docket as well. So we'll get those listed as soon as possible. And then Power Options Plays, Covered Call Explorer, and E-Mini Think Tank are all on track for their regularly scheduled program. Regularly. Oof. Right. Thank you, Amy. Amy dropped in a link to Tony's Patterns in a Flash if you're interested. And here's the follow us page. We do have Sean and I will be talking this afternoon, but we do have the podcast stuff all set up. He's got 2 more tweaks to make on the members area of our members area of the podcasting company that we subscribe to. Other than that, it's just me now getting out there and doing some podcasts. So on top of what we've got here, the podcast will be getting added as well. So super stoked on that. All right. So let's go ahead and take us a look at the market. Right. So we're up 224 points right now on the market. You could see the move that was made, this aggressive move up on the open, the pullback, which was great, and then the bounce from there. So here we have SPX. Let's do this. Let's go here. S&P 500. Excuse me. All right, so we're still in a neutral bias. You can see this says of 1152. So we're still in a neutral bias on the S&P 500. We've got the 8 and 21 have a pretty strong confluence, and then that 3,800 level, that 3,800 level right above it, right above the moving averages. But overall, kind of flattish, right? Meaning, now we're up 53 points, not what I mean, kind of in the pin between the moving averages in there. There's not a whole lot of, ooh, we're running to the upside. We had some great intraday opportunities. If you trade SPY, right, we had a phenomenal move up on the market, right here, and a pullback. So if we look, look at that. This green line right here is a 50% pullback. So we pulled back to the 618, we bounced, and we took off from there, right? So that's number one. You've had that. Number two, analyze the candles, and especially those of you that follow along with what I do in power options plays and the way that I teach day trades in there and the way that we call them out and how we've absolutely crushed it already in 2021. In our non-funded account, we're up about $136,000, $139,000 for the month of January. All right. So watch. We had the gap up. You got your half gap fill, which was a great setup in and of itself. Let me just put it back on real quick so I can. Come on. There we go. So we're talking about from about 373 and 3/4 to 372. So we had about $1.75 pullback in there. So very nice, right? That was number one. So that's first trade. And then what happened? We came down, we closed above. We retested on the 8 moving average in there, right? With here, we failed. We came back up, closed above it, right? And then what happened? We pulled back. Closed here, right? Now that entry, that right there, that move might have been enough for you to take the entry. We pulled back and we closed up here. And then what? Ooh, sweet spot time right there came in. So right about 72 and 3/4. And right now we're at 75 and 3/4. There's a $3 move since that point today on SPY, right? Phenomenal. This is a key component that we trade inside of power option plays. But there was the setup, there was the run. Let me grab my tracking sheet for a second. Obviously, SPY does not have earnings on it, so that it definitely was on an earnings candidate over the weekend. And when I say over the weekend, when I did the update on Saturday, SPY had a neutral bias to it. So I want to make sure I didn't have any crazy in there. It's listed as day trade. There was the day trade opportunity was right there. Right? Beautiful thing. Absolute beautiful thing. Did anybody watch SPY today? Have you seen that? Anybody get a chance to look at SPY's potential trade today? While you guys are answering that, you can give me one for yes, two for no. Jim said paper trade, of course, got into ES last night, held it for hours, made a lot. Got into SPY this morning at 11:06, and it's still running up very nice. So 11:06, let's check out where that is. So right up in here, right on this candle, actually, the 11:10 ending, which would be 11:06 was the start. Good, good. So not much of a difference for me, right? You had a great opportunity right here. We're in, at 79. Here at 06 is probably 73. I mean, it's close. It's close. How did SPY go, Robert? You said you paper traded. How was that? Beautiful. Good. Good. I love seeing it. Excellent. So, but we're in no size, shape, or form out of the doldrum that we're in right now, this smack that we took. Yeah, the market's up. We're up 220 points on the Dow, 50 points on the S&P. We're up more on the NASDAQ than we are on the Dow. Go figure, right? So we're in no stretch of the imagination are we out of the woods at this point, though. When you go back and look where we are on the daily charts, we have not yet come out of a neutral bias, which means for me, day trades is all that I will put on. I will not put on a swing trade at this point unless the swing trade is very clearly a true bull or true bear position. I've got two of them that we called out that were true bears over the weekend for power option plays. But other than that, no. Robert said really good on his paper trade, 30 contracts, up $5,600. See, people can make a living on SPY. Go figure. Tom said the NQ did a beautiful 889 on the 1105 candle. It's a great training that Brandon does on that. It really is. Robert said still holding 10 now on paper. On a 5-minute chart, Tom said on the 889. Excellent. By the way, if you guys are sitting there on a Sunday, does anybody sit on a Sunday and say, man, I can't wait for the markets to open on Monday? Give me a 1 for yes if that's you. I mean, I sit there going, oh my goodness gracious, I cannot wait. Can't wait for the markets to open on Monday, right? Well, then let me tell you this. Yesterday, and let me take a look. Let me take a look at my phone for a second. My phone went ballistic yesterday. And starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, I got a couple of alerts from Brandon, the first two. And then at 6:12 in the evening, all the way up until 10:17 last night, I received 10 trade entry alerts, management, so forth on his Wealth with Spreads. 10 trade orders yesterday came in from Brandon, right? He's crushing it with what he does there on Wealth with Spreads. Guys, go take the 2-week trial. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, they're Brandon's spread trades. I mean, 10 of them, Tom. 10, yes. Right? So the first trade is hitting the entry. The second one hitting the entry. Third one hitting the entry. Fourth one hitting the long entry. And a stop loss triggered. Target met for a profit. Met the long entry. Short entry. Hitting the long entry. One of them was 5 ticks from the target, so moved the stop loss to break even, right? And then this morning, the first one hit its target. Second one was a small stop loss. So, but 10 of them yesterday. 10 came in yesterday as trade setups. The first two were kind of the educational video is posted, or the weekly video is posted, was more what the first ones are about. So, yeah, Kevin said, I subscribe to Wealth with Spreads. It's awesome. It is. It is. I'm blown away by what he's doing. I've traded spreads before, but the way that Brandon does them makes my life so much easier. I don't really have to think a whole lot about it. Who was that said I get sad when the markets close? It's moving, so it's hard to see. Kevin said, I get sad when the markets close on Friday. Okay, yeah, that's me. It's like, damn. Right, trade the futures and start trading on Sunday night. You got it, Robert. That's exactly it. Jim said, but I trade on the ES Sunday night. Absolutely. There you go. There you go. So Jim said on Brandon's trades, are they tradable on Sunday or do you have to wait until Monday? No. They're tradable. They're tradable. They've already moved into entry, time, which is why it's after 6 o'clock at night. because that's when the market's open on Sunday. Tom said I have an alarm set for 5:45. I'm guessing p.m. Sunday evening to get ready to sit down. There you go. Excellent. Good. Okay. So SPX doing phenomenal. As far as the day goes, from where it closed on Friday to where it is now. Right. Let's go take a look back at markets and see what we've got going on. So those of you that are in Inner Circle and or Mastermind Group, make sure you're looking at the RUT. It is time for another RUT trade setup, right, for our Iron Condors. So RUT's doing well today. I do like, the RUT fell down a little bit. Let me kind of full screen it there. From where it was wonderful. I mean, we're in this nice, we had a little bit of an increase here, right? We had this little step up here, and then we just kind of sideways for 2 weeks. And then 3 or 4 days we're down. But ironically, when you look at it, if we go and grab a rectangle here and come off of these tops, right in there. Ironically, we're right about in that same rectangle of where we were, right back down to the bottom of it. So no harm, no foul. I think the one that we've got in our paper trade open has 15 or 17 days left or something. That's it. So we're setting up for another Iron Condor. So follow the rules that I laid out in Mastermind, guys, and Inner Circle, and consider that as a potential setup for your next paper trade. All right, so markets themselves doing great, right? Brenda obviously is always a QQQ gal, right? Qs are doing phenomenal this morning. And if you look, come on, there we go. If you look, right, what happened where? Watch. We probably should change this from black. It won't come out very well in black. So there's the gap. There's the half gap fill. Okay. We got a bounce. We closed above. We retested here and we bounced. That is a clear entry on the Qs. You're talking at about, I don't know, 318. Because I kind of did this with my line there, right? Drawing an options curve, a risk curve. So it's about 318-ish, and we're sitting at 322-ish. So we've got a $4 move on Qs. Very nice, right? And if you missed your opportunity there, you got to pull down. Actually, let me clear it off and do it again, right? So if you missed that one, what happened? We pulled back. We closed up, we retested, and you bounced. So there was another potential there, right? At this point, you closed below, you pushed up, retested, and we have not come back. That really wasn't a retest. We have not come back ever since. It's just been straight up at that point. So a lot of great opportunities just on the indices and or the ETFs associated with them today. Who's the ETF that kind of got crazy news today? Anybody know? What ETF is kind of in the news and moving today? Yep, Tom, you got it. Yeah, Robert, exactly. It's SLV. All right. So SLV. So if we look back here, let's do it here first. Look at the daily chart. You can see we kind of a lot of spotty because it's traded worldwide, right? So we're kind of gapping around and all over the place as we're moving in here. We're kind of at the top of the range and we gap up, right? It's like, holy mackerel, what's going on? Well, New York Bet's talking about it, Reddit, whatever, right? All the craziness surrounded this news-wise today. You got a bit of a pullback in there. This is more, you're not dealing with a stock any longer now. You're dealing with the ETF on silver, right? So it is an interesting one that's out there. But if we look, right, you go to SLV, and let me see, I got an option chain open here somewhere. see. I don't know why it didn't change. All right, so let's go SLV. So here's an SLV option chain, right? And this is showing all strikes on the options, okay? Right now, if we look back to where we were, SLV came from about 25 bucks, all right? And the lower part of the range is about 23 and a half, right? There was definitely some nice strength around that $24 level from back here at this peak, right? Just follow my line across. I'm going to move out to the right, but and then off of this top right in here, right? And the wick from 3 days ago, right? Where it kind of stretched down and catapulted itself from there, okay? So with that being said, is there an option you could deal with on SLV? Well, first thing I want to make sure is what's going on with earnings. Do we have any earnings that are coming out? Right? SLV. Right? No number on it, but February 15th, it shows earnings scheduled on SLV. Right? So if you've got earnings coming up on the 15th, what trade, let me close this down, what trade might you consider? Is there something you could do if you're trying to not get in trouble with earnings and you're still trying to take advantage of the overvalue that's going on in the position? And all I'm trying to do is generate some ideas here. Right, Jim. Valentine's Day trade, Robert. Yeah. Silver for Valentine's Day. I love it. I love it. So Jim said SLV unconfirmed earnings on February 15th. You'd sell to open a put. Exactly. So I want to do something before the 15th. We're on Monday. Why would I not look at this Friday? Why would I go all the way out? What delta am I looking for? I'm looking for closest to 20. So we've got a 19 delta, and the option is the 24 and a half. We're at 26 and 3/4. If you look at where we came from, again, 24 and a half, the strike is right about here, right where my horizontal line is, okay? So is there some risk to it? Yes, but we've also been recently, without this craziness, we've been at 25 and 3/4, right? So if you feel, and you have to make that determination, but if you feel there's enough safety in this position, then by all means, go ahead and you could sell to open the, what do we say, 24 half? 24 half now is at an 18 delta, right? But 28 cents. That's, 30 bucks, 30 cents, whatever it is, for nothing. I mean, if you believe it's not getting back down there. I think there's some strength in it. Excuse me. I think there's some strength in it. Volatility is up a little bit, but it has to be with the announcements that came out today and the way that it moved, right? I have a paper trade going on SLV right now, right? And there's a lot of stocks that are paying huge premiums. I think it was Helen put in GameStop, right? GME. Helen, I check GME every single day. I check AMC every single day. And I go and enter a funded order every single day and cannot get filled because I get an error message on TradeStation and TAS on Friday. I didn't do it today on TAS, but I get an error message that says, ooh, sorry, the position is restricted. And they're not allowing it to be traded. So no new entries on the trade, okay? Well, on GameStop, heck, it's trading at $252. I would be ecstatic to take in 20 cents on the 20 and a half, which is where it came from. Ecstatic. Yes, I'm in. It lets you set it up All right. I don't even know on paper trading if it allows it to go through. Let's see. We'll just go at the natural. So we're going to sell to open one GameStop the 5th of February, 21st, $20.50 put, 20-cent limit order, right?
Order filled.
Order filled. So it allows it to go through on the paper trading, but it doesn't allow it to go through on the funded account, which they should not allow to happen. And not at all. Shouldn't allow it to happen. Wow. Robert said he was trying to sell a call against the long and it wouldn't allow me. The $800 call was going for about $100 last week. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it's terrible what they're doing with all of them. With all of them. I mean, to the point, how do you know a market in general, the market is oversold? What's a good signal that the market is oversold? And that's not what I'm asking the question based on. How do you know a market is oversold? What starts to happen? Who starts looking at trading? And if you remember my phrase for it, who it is that I said starts looking? Let's get a different color here. All right, let's get a pen. B, C, M. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. The average person that has nothing to do with the market, never does, is all of a sudden going, oh my God, I should buy GameStop. My wife was on the phone with her cousin over the weekend, and her husband is telling the wife while they're on the phone, because my wife's walking around with her phone on speaker, and he's telling his wife that he wants to talk to me about buying AMC. He's really interested in it, and he really wants to buy it. And he's not the first one, by the way. Her dad calls me once a month and says, Robbie, I want to give you $20,000. You buy something for me. No, Sal, you got to buy it. I'm not watching your money for. No, come on, Robbie, I'm old. You got to do it for me. Nope, Sal, I'm not going to do it. You got to watch your money, not me. Right? And this is his son-in-law, and he wants to know how to invest in it. And these are people that have no understanding of the markets whatsoever. They have no money invested in the market outside of 401ks. Right now, we are so hyped up that the average person who would never look, it's my Pinot story, my barber story, right? Buying Pfizer because his nephew told him it was a really good deal, right? It's a mistake for that person to be getting into the market. And when they are, there's no one left, right? Now, all these shorts are going to have to get cleared out. And there's, I understand the devastation that's going to take place as these shorts get crushed. And I mean crushed. There are going to be people that are going to be in the poorhouse. I mean, it's going to be like trading places. Seize their business assets and their personal assets and blah, 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 blah. It isn't going to be fun. So Robert said, I called TD today and they said that I can exercise my long call, then call them to place the short against the stock position. Interesting, Robert. Really? Huh. Yeah. Okay. Tom said, only invest in what you're willing to lose. It's like a Ponzi scheme or a pump and dump. And that's what they're calling it, pump the stock up, right? Yeah, Sal, I'll buy your daughter a nice house for a gift for you. Oh, my goodness. So the GameStops of the world, the AMCs of the world, what is the other one? COS or something? I've not really paid attention to that one. Is it KOSS or no? KROS? What's the other symbol that they're crazed on right now? I really haven't focused. It is KOSS, right? No, KOSS. All right, let's try it one more time. KOSS. Does not have options. That's why it wasn't coming up. COS. Okay, so right here, COS Corp. Well, that's interesting. So this hype and hoopla up to 120 bucks is gone, right? Where is GME now? When you look at that chart, right? Still down dramatically, right? Did we fill? No, we didn't quite fill the gap down from here on Friday. Didn't quite, right? But I mean, the movements have been vicious. Jim said, is there some indicators to show the market is oversold? Diversion of indicators, implied volatility is high, VIX is rising. Well, VIX is the first thing that I look at, right? That's the very first thing. When it comes to the options pricing, you know, if you go look on GameStop right now, right? And since I don't know how accurate the numbers are right now, but let's see. Let's go find enough open interest and let's go find the options. First thing is the theoretical versus the asking price. Theoretical is $35. The asking price is $73. So that right there is an automatic red flag to me. If you were paying twice as much for it because of the implied volatility in there, right? That's number one. Number two is we've got about a $3 bid-ask spread, which may not be horrible on a $250 stock with volatility to it, but there's just too much against you that you've got to overcome. Because remember, if the air comes out, if an Elon Musk or whoever, a big shorter out there in GameStop, a big hedge fund steps out and says, Uncle, you know, we're buying to close at 250 bucks a share, we're done, right? We're out of that short, or we divested, 3 million shares, whatever it is. And the market all of a sudden goes, holy Christmas, we don't have as much cushion in there any longer because the shorts are gone, right? Or part of them, the shorts are starting to get out. You're going to see not only the deflation in the value of the price, you're also going to see the hold of the bid-ask spread, if not an increase in there. It won't drop, but you're going to see the value of the options drop dramatically because it can easily drop down to half of the price that it is right now. Easily drop to half, right? $33 option right here, right? 32 and a half, call it $33, and it's trading at 70, right? More than double the price, right? Suddenly they're way overvalued as a company. So someone was on CNBC this morning. I don't know who the guy was. Kind of a little bit of a ding dong to me, but they were asking him about GameStop. And the one thing he said that had such tremendous value in it is, why was there an overabundance of shorts on GameStop to start? Because they asked, what do you see GameStop's price being in the future now? You know, how high do you see it going? And he said, why was there such an overabundance of shorting on GameStop? And he said, the shorting came in because their fundamentals were not good. They were not doing well as a company at all. That's why so many people had shorted them thinking they were too high. He said, so nothing has changed internal to the company. You know, if I was the CEO of the company, I would go out and take out billions of dollars in loans against my stock price just to have the cash on hand, because he ain't going to get it when it goes back to 18 to 20 bucks. Let's see. DKNG 5-minute chart might be starting a move. GBR might be another. GME play started last Thursday, no options on it. So let's take a look at GBR. Kind of a tougher place without the options for me. Yeah, whatever drove it up to 30 bucks, it's not far from where it started, right? All over again. This is DraftKings, right? Yep. Yeah, I mean, the move was nice. Deborah, if we had caught it a few minutes back, it was a really nice move. Why? We got to move up. We retested back by the 8, and we got a trigger. And that trigger took us right out of these recent tops that we had in there, and even broke the high of the morning. So very nice. Okay. Excellent. All right. Symbol time. What do you guys want me to look at? All right. Let me go pull this up here. Let me reposition my keyboard. I'm kind of at an angle here. All right. So AG. Who is AG? First Majestic. Oh, Silver. Okay. Silver Company. All right. So do they happen to have options on them? Let's see. Let us see on AG. All right. Here's the key. I'm not willing, personally, I'm okay with selling a put, but I'm not looking at 22 bucks. I'm not looking at 16 bucks. I want to know if we get back where we were, $15-ish, am I okay with, can I get a decent premium on the 15? So if I go back and look at the $15 put, I've got a delta of 4. I'm picking up 9 cents on it. Maybe it might be okay, right? But I'd like a little more premium than that. They do have earnings coming out, it looked like. I don't know if it's confirmed or not. Let's see. The 17th, still not confirmed yet. So the 17th gives me the opportunity for another week, but I'm not really the let's sell puts for 2 weeks type of guy. So I can go 13 and a half and get 20 cents. It's okay. Not for 2 weeks, I'm not interested. That won't cut it for me. What about Qualcomm, Steve? Maybe you put it in, I just didn't see it. So let's go look at AG. So I mean, it's a short-term play. There's definitely risk and speculation to it, Keith. I would be cautious, extremely cautious with AG, just as I would with SLV. I'm only doing something that has premium into it. I'm not doing something that brings me risk at the price points where it is now. I'm trying to sell down here is all I'm interested in. So if you're okay with that 10 cents or 20 for next week, because I would do the 10 for 1 week. I wouldn't do 20 for 2. I wouldn't double my premium to double my length of time. Let's see. So, on the DraftKings, right? They've got earnings coming up. So, Deborah, you had asked about this, and I jumped in it just while we were on TradeStation. But let's take a look here. We've got, look at the last 5 days. We're pinned between 53, 57 quarter, right? It's been a great overall move, right? Great overall move. So if you can get a bounce, as we did today, off the 53, and you can get some movement in there with the potential up to that 57, I'm all for it. All right, then we got Overstock, OSTK, Overstock. Okay, let's see. Fibonacci, she still is a good. All right. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, now, see, without that fib in there, without the fib, I say, okay, it looks like we're getting a potential bounce off a moving average. Right, when I move that fib back in place, and I see that what level is it? Oh, even better, the 50 is right in confluence with the 8 moving average. It's great. And we're talking about $5 for $9 potential move. Overstock. Overstock moves $7 a day. So I like it a lot, right? If you can get the bounce, I guess my thought would be this, Tom, I'd prefer to see a close here and a bounce tomorrow. But if you're the intraday trader and you're okay with the bounce intraday, there's potential setup. Although it has broken already today, I'd be cautious. And that's kind of the here kitty that I'm always afraid of. ADX is telling me that we're good to go. DMI is telling me we're good to go. FedEx. All right, let's take a look. What a great move on FedEx. All right, so if I back this up to here, actually, let me go over to template number 1. Back it up a little bit further. Okay, time to grab a pen. All right, so we've got a bit of a V, not black though. Let's do it this way. Let's get that. Let's get that. Okay. So we have kind of a V in here. Right. Then we just kind of drift, and it's no V in here. I wish we had. We've got no V here. We do have that V right there. Right. And then we take off. We get another set of V's here, and there's our V top. And then we start working our way to the bottom. If we are to draw off of this V, we probably are pretty close to violating, because this one is bigger than this one, than that V. Right? We're probably pretty close to violating on the downside. So let's go ahead and set it up and do it this way. Let's start off here with this. Let me come from this bottom up to this top. And at that point, we are still valid as a fib. Let me pull this out a little bit. Oh, I know why. This is too big here. I don't need that big column. So at $13, 20 to 50. Yeah, see how much we've got in there? It's massive. 26 to 56 is $30. We can't even make it work with just splitting it in half. Right, but that's the valid move. We didn't get a pullback to the 236 on this, which I would always like to see. So really no reason to change it. It's just we've got fibbits to apply inside of here. So the problem is I need all 4 fibbits. I need a 136 and I need a 118, right? And when we look, 26 up to 41 gives me 15. We only have 13 as a fibbit. So I need to split these both again. So I need to put in the, I don't know if I've got them here. It's easier to do it this way. We'll just we'll just do the 1 for now. So we snap it in here this way, and then we're going to edit it. And we'll add in a 236 and a 764. And we'll pull this out. Okay, there's our lines. Let's go back to moving averages. $33 to 41 gives me 33, 7, 8, about $8. And we move about 6.5 a day. So the potential is there. So if we can get the 8 back to, all of that to say, if we can get the 8 back near the 241, pull up, retest, and fail, 233 is your target. Sorry about that long drawn out answer there, Jim, but I think I thought it was warranted with what we had to do with or look at with for fibs. All right. Let's see. I hope that was helpful for you. Brenda's asking for FCX. All right. So the moving averages are in the wrong order. We are in a neutral bias right now, so I need to close above the 8 or the 21, whatever is higher, for me to shift to bullish. Ideally, we get the moving averages curling up and getting near the 28, and we look for the move up to 32 as our resistance. Helen said, I heard that Robinhood and other groups got together and started buying shares of GME and AMC deliberately to drive the price up on failing businesses to prove that Wall Street and the U.S. market is a joke. They succeeded wonderfully. You know, I've heard rumor to that, and that's all it is rumor. But if they are doing anything to artificially drive up a price, That is illegal for a brokerage firm. That's boiler room stuff. And that is probably why the SEC, and not only them, but you got, senators, congressmen, whoever, are screaming at the top of their lungs that someone needs to burn for this, right? And they're looking for anybody. And Robinhood seems to have a lot of attention right now about this. So caution, Grasshopper, right? For them playing this dirty game, if that's what they're doing. It kind of takes you back to how ethical is it to front run an order. As an example, how ethical is it to front run an order that when you place it, you've got these high frequency traders that jump in before you and buy it for half a penny less and sell it to you for your price, right? There's questionability to it of that, but it really is usually the bigger traders that are dealing with that stuff. Reddit readers are behind it in a particular subreddit group. They're buying to drive up the price. Yep, I saw the articles, Rick. And same thing, Reddit's under investigation right now. It comes back to, are you a news organization that you need to edit your stuff? Or are you a social media platform that you're not responsible for anybody that yells fire? Which is exactly what people did. They yelled fire, right? And when I'm watching CNBC and Sorkin is on there and he's interviewing somebody and he gets a text message, a tweet rather, right there as he was on air, where he put something out about, GameStop holders better be ready to lose some money on this. And he turned the tweet back to him was, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. We know that we might lose money on this. We're not worried about losing the money. We're doing it to stick it to the man or something like that. And you may have that attitude as a big shot hiding behind Twitter, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you drop 20 grand and you say, ha, I stuck it to the man, good for me, then you're just an idiot. Yeah, I'm not a Sorkin fan, Robert, but I think Joe Kernan's the biggest idiot of all, but I digress. We don't want to get started on my thoughts on CNBC. Since Mark Haynes passed away, there ain't nothing left that I think there's any value there any longer. What are you bringing on, the Nigerian brothers? So they can tell you everything that they just bought so you can drive the price up by you buying it now too? Come on. How unethical is that? Hey, but I told you I bought it. Yeah. You told me you bought it, so I would buy it. I get it. Yeah, Robert said, let him drive GME to 1,000. If you're holding it, I get it. Right. So Bill said it's not a broker like Robinhood. It's a message board called Wall Street Bets on Reddit. Web Street's called on members to buy and run hedge funds short. So I'm not going to mention names, but I had a conversation with somebody the other day that apparently on a YouTube show or wherever they broadcast from, they had talked down on the Wall Street Bets. And all of a sudden, the guy who was doing it, they were promoting his personal email address and saying that everybody needs to spam him. They were, cell phone numbers somehow, or phone numbers to his office got out and you should call him and, whatever. So here's a guy getting harassed because he had an opinion about a Wall Street Bets, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. That is where a lot of it starts. But so you are right, Bill, but if Robinhood is purposely buying the stock to drive price, then that's a problem. That's a problem. Unless they are a company that normally buys as an investment or buys to future sell, that's a problem. It's Martha Stewart selling out early, right? She had insider information. You can't tell me that I'm restricted to buy, but you do it, so you drive the price up. It's just, you can't do it. I can't see the ethical part of that, which is why I've always disagreed with the apps like a Robinhood and so forth. I don't think that they have a trader's best interest in mind. I've always suspected that there's stuff like that in the background. So Robinhood is just restricting trades to buy only one share of GME, which is angering their customers. Yeah, it's not just them. TradeStation has done it. TOS has done it. I don't know what's happened with Tasty. I haven't tried anything on there, but no, I think Becky is phenomenal. Becky Quick, she is a good hardcore reporter. Ain't no Cincinnati Reds conversations coming out of her mouth. All right? That's not what she's all about there. Let's see. Goodness gracious, I just opened up a can of worms here with Robinhood and stuff when I answered that question. Let me get back to some of the symbols that are there. So FCX, it's got to get above the $28 to $29 level. HIMX, earnings coming up on HIMX, so be careful there. Who is this? HIMAX, semis. Okay, semiconductors. Well, I mean, it went from 3 up to 10. So, Paula, I'm not a fan of this price stock when it comes to, fibs. You really can't draw anything on them; they don't work. So let's see. Historically, we have been there before. You can start looking left at some historical levels. $11 maybe, $12, and then about $14. 11, 12, and 14 are the resistance levels that we've got up there, but just get a clear and concise entry. A bounce off of support would be the potential for it. CYDY, Robert's asking for. CYDY, did I? So Robert, you typed in CYDY. I'm not getting anything on CYDY. It sounds like we're doing the same thing from last week with the symbols being off. Just thinking out loud now. All right. So SPC, oh no. I already had that up. SPCE, okay. Virgin Galactic Holdings. They've doubled in the last month. So what an overall move. I wonder if Virgin Galactic Holdings owns GameStop or something. Let's go back and look historically. So this is it. We're at the all-time highs right now, right? It's a tough call, Robert. Again, it's more news driven than anything else. There's not any technicals that are supporting the move up. Let me see. Did you come up with the other symbol? Oh, CYDY is coming up, some kind of pharmaceuticals. And it just may not be in here. Yeah, it's over the counter. So CYDY, my very first trade ever was a company like that. It was on a company called Autoimmune. CYDY, okay. Did they have a good announcement on a phase 2 or 3 trial? It wouldn't have been 3, not at that move. It would have been bigger than that if it was a 3. Did they have some kind of announcement on a phase 1 or phase 2 trial maybe? Not sure. All right. Let me bring it back in here. Trying to find where I left off. All right. Silver is another Reddit-driven one. Absolutely, Bill. Yep. Trader will hit the 882. I don't know what that was from, Will. Sorry. Let me know what it was. Too bad I bought a put option on Overstock. There you go, Tom. FDX was an H pattern. If you're looking here, it's an H, but we really only consider it an H off the 50 or the 618. But yes, you are right. It does look like an H. What was that? That was Joan. Okay. Good, Jim. Glad it was helpful. And sorry, just trying to get through the questions there. All right, Roman's got Netflix. So they got through their earnings already. We got them down as a day trade. Yeah, look at the setup, Roman. Look at the setup. If we can close here and get above the 8 on the close, get me up to 543 or so, 4 or 5, but somewhere above that 43 and a pullback tomorrow and a bounce. I mean, it takes us from day trade right into directional trade. Now I would still be cautious on taking a swing trade on it just because of where the market is, but you're at an ideal spot for the potential setup. HIMX. I think we did this one already, right? Yeah, Jim, I saw that comment about you're an idiot, and I kind of figured you weren't talking about me. You were talking about what we were saying in there, so I didn't even repeat it out to you, but I figured as much. No worries. Sounds like Pelosi bought Tesla right before Biden said the U.S. fleet would go all electric. Yeah, what did GM announce? They said 2034, 35. They're not making any more fuel cars. It's all going to be electric cars. D-Dog. All right, let's see. This one has made it on my Covered Call Explorer a couple of times in the past. It made the cut. So higher lows. I guess higher high, but barely. But higher high. So overall, decent. I like where we closed yesterday. We got the stretch down to the 102 in the bounce, right about 103, 3/2, somewhere around there would be the entry. Right, you got 108, so maybe 107, 106 and a half, somewhere around there would be your target on the upside. So I like the pattern. I like the way it's setting up for sure. Hope that helps, Daniel. So Trader Will said, I'm guessing this was that CYCO or CTY or something like that. CytoDyn is a clinical stage biotech company. The company is focused on clinical development, molecular antibodies to treat human immune deficiency, HIVs. The company's lead product candidate Pro 140 belongs in the class of HIV therapy. Okay. I'm just curious if they had any kind of test, trials that they were in now that drove them up. What was the reason for them moving the way they did? Yeah, no options on them yet, exactly. Let's see, Plug. Keith asked for. We're kind of getting near the end here, folks. I think Plug made it on Covered Call Explorer again this week. It did. It did. On my paper trades last week, I had a naked put on it. Did extremely well. I really want to see it close above. I didn't do another one on Friday. I have gotten very used to when something is way out of the money, which it was on Friday, the naked put. I gotten very used to leaving it, not closing it out, especially when they're asking for 5 and 6 cents to close it out and won't negotiate. I've gotten very used to leaving it open and selling another one, and I did not like the pattern where we were. I was looking for the close above that 65 3/4. If we can do that, I'll be looking for the long, the short put again on Plug. Yeah, wait until 2035 and see if GM comes through with no gas or diesel vehicles. It all comes down to the next president comes in and says, yeah, we're throwing that rule out. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Robert said, let's look at the stock that's going to move like GME before it moves next week. And if you can tell me who it is, I'll be happy to look at it. All right, so Trader Will said they announced, CYDY announced that this drug, Pro 140, antagonist reached full enrollment in its phase. Oh, it is in phase 3. Okay, but it got full enrollment. So apparently phase 1, phase 2 have been good, and now they've got enough people registered for phase 3. All right. So 390 patient data will be analyzed in approximately 28 days, but not optionable. Right? Not optionable. So CYDY. Pharma. Okay. I just want to take note of it. However, shares of the company have soared 246% year to date compared with the industry of 2.5%. It's a next. Maybe. Well, last one. Let's see. WKHS. This is, Workhorse. Okay. Let's go back and look, bigger picture, never been there. All right, I mean, we can ABC it. I don't really have a good, let's do this. Nope, wrong one. Fib. All right, so there we go. So 35.71 to 39. So we've got about 6 to 9 is about a $3 move here, which is about what it's moving while this average true range is. So if we can get the pullback, close near the 36 level and a bounce, there's potential on this one from the bounce off. Let's see. Deborah said it's breaking the high from Friday. Yeah, and we're behind a little bit on this. So, but I'd still want to see the closing of that 36 level at this point, right? Unless you are that speculation trader, I can't do that. It doesn't work well for me. I stress more over that than I do over anything else, right? Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed it. Was this worth your time today? Yeah, Jim said, GM working to release all electric cars by 2035 worldwide is the goal. Does that mean that they're going to, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. You are all welcome. Yeah, stay warm. I don't know how much that's happening. We still got to go out and shovel yet. So although snow seems very light right now, I don't mean how it's snowing. I mean the fluffiness of it. As I said, it's very airy, so it's easy to move. The last one we had was an absolute glut. It was horrible. The wind is what's making it bad right now. Yeah, we're looking at 20, 30, 50 mile an hour gusts. It's becoming a pain in the neck. It's good on my greenhouse. Nothing pushes in on the roof panels. So I could get 10 inches of snow up there and be okay. Can I get a webcam on the snow? And we'll publish it right on Wealth Builders website? Yeah, there you go. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have a great rest of your day. God bless. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, folks, you're just one trade away. Take care, and I will see all of you at our next update. Appreciate Tom. You as well. Take care. Bye now. Hey, I'll leave the room open a couple minutes. You guys can grab the links that Amy dropped in the beginning of the class.